K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Ace, and I'm joined tonight by my co-host, of course, Dragon Viper. How you doing tonight, my man?
Doing good. How are you?
I am absolutely wonderful. And then tonight, of course, we have a special guest for you. She's going to be brand new to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. She goes by Joanne. How are you doing tonight?
Hi, gentlemen. It's great to be here. Thanks for bringing me on. I'm excited to get started.
All right. So before we go ahead and get started and jump into our first topics here. So, Joanne, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you a quick question. What is your favorite genre of movies that you enjoy really watching?
That I enjoy really well. I like true stories. So those are some of my favorites. And I'm a big crime buff. So I like true crime stories. I also am a fan of comedies. I like the romantic comedy. I don't know, that may not be a gentleman's favorite genre, but it's probably one of my favorites, depending upon my mood and if I'm feeling lighthearted or serious, if I want to shed a little tear or laugh a little bit. That's really what dictates my movie choice.
No, I like it. So this is probably the first episode you've seen of movie night, but I've said in the past that my least favorite one is musicals. So I don't know. It's just something about musicals I'm not really big on. I think really the only musical that I've came out and said that I really, really like is Grease. But who doesn't like Grease? I mean, Grease is a fantastic movie. It's phenomenal.
So one of my all-time favorite movies.
Grease?
No, not Grease. It's actually Oklahoma. Every Christmas when I was growing up, I used to watch Oklahoma. So that's a musical that really predates you guys. But I'll still watch it if it comes on. So it's not my favorite genre, but I have been known to sing along to one or two in the past.
Hey, that's okay. That's all right. So why don't we go ahead and we jump into our first topic, which tonight is actually Jim Carrey night when we're talking about the actor that we're going to talk about. So the first thing that we're going to talk about on Jim Carrey night is we're going to talk about his best movie, in your opinion. And so, Joanne, I'll go ahead and I'll start out with you on this too. What do you think was Jim Carrey's best movie?
I think the best one for me was Man on the Moon. I like Andy Kaufman. I grew up, my father was a huge Taxi fan, and I think that the two gentlemen together have so many similarities that it resonated with me. I think they're both quirky. They both are very talented, and they're both very, very intelligent. So I think that really was one of his best performances.
Man on the Moon, I like it. It's a great one. So we actually have a few comments in the comment box here. Isaiah, I will say what's going on. I hope you're having a great night. And then, of course, we have Tim Fielder, who right off the bat, he is disagreeing with you, Joanne, and he's coming out and he's saying that Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, is actually one of his favorite ones, so to say. How about you, Dragon Viper? What do you got?
Oh man, there are so many that I like from him that I find great. Dumb and Dumber, both 1 and 2. But if I were to actually choose one, that's tough. Cable Guy. I think I'd say Bruce Almighty is one of my favorites. Well, between that and Liar and Cable Guy, I guess all three of them. But yeah, those are my top 3 favorites. So.
Yeah, so some of them are really, really hard to choose from. For me, one of them that I really, really enjoyed is the Ace Ventura ones. I know Joanne's like, man, it's just not my favorite. I get it. But yeah, he was really, really good in that one. A lot of people probably don't even like The Mask, but I thought that The Mask was actually a good one. Even though there really wasn't much of a plot or point to it, I still thought it was a pretty decent movie myself. If I had to put it in his top 10, yeah, I could put it in top 10 for sure. It's not like at the bottom of the list. But since we're going to jump to Joanne really quick here, and you've already told us that one of your least favorite ones is Ace Ventura. So what is your reasoning for not liking Ace Ventura?
First, I want to say Dragon Viper, my second favorite Jim Carrey movie. I'm going to go with you on Cable Guy. Love that movie. Cracks me up. I just thinking about it now makes me laugh. Ace Ventura, I just think the humor is very juvenile for me. And that's really so much of Jim Carrey's work, but the animals don't work for me. And I say that, but I do like Mr. Popper's Penguin. So I just think it's more kid friendly. There's just something about Ace Ventura. He's just so over the top there, and it's just not my favorite. I like Jim Carrey very much, so it's very difficult for me to say I hate any of them, but it's my least favorite. I won't say I hate it. Dumb and Dumber is the same thing. It's just a juvenile. I like it. It's not my favorite. I think that it really displays his comedic talent, but I like his dramatic abilities as well.
Yeah, so Dumb and Dumber, the first one was actually way better than the second one. But most of the time, the first ones that they come out with are usually always better. And I completely get that Dumb and Dumber was kind of over the top, but I think that was the whole point of that movie, was trying to get everything over the top to make it super funny. And of course, somebody in the younger generation, they're going to find it funnier than a lot of us now, because we're like, oh, you know what? That's probably not as funny now as it was then. But we do have a few comments in the comment box here. So Tim Feeler's actually saying that Jim Carrey's worst movie was actually 23.
I don't know if I saw that one.
Yeah, 23. It's kind of hard to explain. It definitely was an interesting movie. I would almost agree with Tim Fielder on that one. That was definitely one of his worst ones. And then Brandon Herrera wants to give you a shout out and say, hello, Ace and Joanne. And he's saying, okay, hi to Dragon Viper also. So, there you go. Dragon Viper, you have it out there. Tim Feeler's also saying Laces Out Dan. I don't know if I've ever seen that movie. Do you guys remember?
That's from Ace Ventura. That's from the first.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
dealing with Dan Marino.
Yes, Laces Out Dan. And Tim Feeler's saying shake his head on the Dumb and Dumber comment. He likes it. It's great. But one of the other ones that I really thought of, one of his worst movies, maybe you guys liked it, but I said Yes Man. I wasn't a really big fan of the whole Yes Man movie. It was all right, but to me, it just wasn't really super appealing when I watched it. It's just one of the things, it's like, okay, he just goes around and just says yes to everything. I get what the point of the movie was, but it just was up there where I'm like, not my thing. So Dragon Viper, anything else on this subject? Worst movie overall, what?
Well, I think, he had less worse movies than better movies, but I have to look at things like The Truman Show, The Majestic, and then two that I didn't completely understand at all were Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and Lemony Snicket's A Series of Fortunate Events. I didn't understand those at all. So, there's a few of the ones I didn't care for from him.
So, Joanne, do you have anything to say on his takes on some of the worst Jim Carrey movies?
I'm actually going to disagree there. I like The Truman Show. I think it was very poignant. I think it was very relevant, and even today, to translate the whole media and really the intrusion of the media in our culture. So I like that one. And I think another genre that we're missing is that he's as a parent, he's done some great animated films too. Horton Hears a Who, The Grinch. I really like The Grinch. I think he's really comedic there. But I think that we covered the ones for me that are the worst, because there's so many that shine. So I don't like to denigrate them too much, because I'm a big fan. But I'll agree with your assessments, but I'm going to give a shout out for the ones that I find worthy and bring value to the society.
All right. So one of the other comments we have is that Amy says that her favorite Jim Carrey movie is actually Liar Liar. That one is too. So if you're a Jim Carrey fan and you really think about how maybe Dumb and Dumber was a little bit over the top, some people might find Liar Liar one of those movies too that was kind of a little bit over the top, but it was still really, really funny. I loved his work in that movie. It was great. We have a few more. Brandon Herrera says the Andy Kaufman movie was amazing. And I believe we had talked about this a little bit before we came on. So, Joanne, what was your thoughts on the Andy Kaufman movie?
I found that to be and that was actually my favorite. I said that from the beginning. I think that there's such a great correlation between Jim Carrey and Andy Kaufman, that they are so intertwined in persona and psyche and temperament, that I found that to be his best movie, in my opinion.
So have you guys have you guys watched the Sonic movie by chance?
Now my sons have, and they said I'm not going to like it. So I haven't seen it yet, but they didn't give it great reviews, and they're big movie buffs over here. So I've been hedging my bets on that one.
So Will Polston is commenting, saying that his favorite work from Jim Carrey was a skit of The Night at the Roxbury with Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan. And I don't know if I've ever seen that little skit that he's pertaining to. I've seen a night at the Roxbury, but I don't know if I've seen the whole skit that they did. Have any of you seen that?
I haven't seen that. Was it on SNL, or it must have been on SNL, right?
It must have been, because I don't remember seeing that skit at all. Brandon saying that Sonic was okay, so it's still another one of those things that I haven't seen Sonic myself, and I don't know if it's really a movie I'm going to watch, because I've heard the reviews on it were not all that great. And so I'm like, maybe I don't want to. But Will, to answer that question, he said yes, Saturday Night Live is the correct answer. That's where they did it at.
I wasn't a big Saturday Night Live person, so.
Oh, well, huh?
I was going to say I love SNL, but I didn't see that piece. I'll have to watch it tonight. I'll have to pull it up and check it out.
All right, so before we jump into our next topic, Joanne, I really would like to know, who is your favorite actor? Do you have one?
I don't know if I have a favorite. I do like, believe it or not, I'm a big Marvel movie buff, and I wasn't until a few years ago. And my son, and I told you guys a little bit about him before the broadcast, he has Asperger's, and one day he said to me, "Hey Mom, the Avengers is coming out, but before you watch it, you got to catch up on these other 20 movies." I was like, "What?" And he had the whole series. He had them lined up. So every Saturday for a year, we watched one of the Marvel movies, and then I became hooked. So I'm a big Chris Evans fan. I like him as a person and as an actor. So I'd say if I could meet anybody today, or he would probably be the guy for me.
Do you have a favorite actress?
I do. I like, and this is old school a little bit, I like Demi Moore. I like her. Again, I always factor in their personal lives. I like how she's kind of a hot mess at times in her life, and she's flawed, and she's very talented, and she's had a broad catalog of movies. So I think that those are two people that I resonate with, and that I find very interesting on screen and off.
All right. I love it. I love it. So jumping into our next topic, was simply, if you could write a comedy movie, what comedy movie would you like to write? And Joanne, I'm going to go ahead and start out with you on this one, because you said you're already set to go. You already know what you're going to do. So I cannot wait to hear this.
I'm set to go. So for me, I come from a big Irish Catholic family. And certainly back in my parents' generation, everything was a secret, and just everything was so comedic. The secrets would come out at the craziest times. There'd be a funeral, and we'd be, having a screaming match, or everything. We couldn't talk about anything. No issue. Every issue was closed, bound, and off topics. And there are so many now that the second generation and the third generation, we just find it so funny. And I would just write a sitcom about that, or a movie about that. Just the dysfunction and the addiction and the Irish wit. I just love it. And I can, we've thought about it, actually. We thought about writing a movie. We thought about writing a book. One of my cousins is a screenwriter, and it's not off the table yet, but we're ready to go.
Would it be a long movie?
It could fill up 2 hours. I know that. We'd have to cut a little material. And we're actually writing a compilation book, so there could be a sneak peek to it in the near future. But it would be a funny movie. I can promise you that.
Have you really thought about where it would take place?
So we live in New York, so it may take place here. We don't live in the city, but probably a small town. I don't think it would go back to Ireland because we like it there, but it's not really. We're from the U.S., so it'd be someplace in a small town in the U.S., a smaller city, someplace like that. Any place in just a residential neighborhood, I think, is we all live close together and we're just all over the top.
So, have you thought about who you might want to put in there as lead roles to be the lead actor or actress or anything?
For me, I like, and I can picture her in my mind. Well, it would be Conan O'Brien, he looks the part and he would be very funny. Sandra Bullock, I like Sandra Bullock, and I think that she can play me. I'll put that out there now. So when the movie rolls out, I'm going to try to enlist her in the film. But Conan O'Brien would be great for my father's character. My father's got the flaming red hair. I think comedic actresses, I'd have to give it a thought. Who's the best out there? Certainly, I like Kristen Wiig would be great. She doesn't look Irish, but she'd be a great addition. I like Tina Fey and the Saturday Night Live alumni. They'd all be great additions to the film, I think.
So we have a few comments out here. Brandon saying that Jim Carrey's Living Color was amazing, actually. He said he liked that movie. Imie's favorite actor is Will Smith. And her favorite actress is actually Sandra Bullock. And Tim Fielder, so one of our viewers is actually going out there saying that he could be a lead role for you if you go ahead and write the script. He's like, heck, I'll do it. I could be a lead role guy.
I can probably get Tim a little bit. He's probably price tag is less than Chris Evans. So you're in, Tim. Give me a call.
You're in. I like it. So I've known Tim for a while, and with the plot of the movie that you're talking about, I think he could pull it off. I think he'd be a funny guy. And like you said, it would definitely be a cheaper price tag than what you would have to pay out for any of the big time actors and actresses to come on here. Brandon Herrera saying if he wrote a movie based on Dallas Cowboys fans thinking that this is their year, call it a season of flop. Okay, and the only reason he's saying that is because he knows that Dragon Viper is a big Dallas Cowboys fan. And so I'm going to jump to Dragon Viper on this one. And no, I'm not talking about the comment that Brandon just made. Don't worry, I'm not talking about that.
Oh, I won't talk about it either. So
I'm talking about, did you finally come up with an idea for a comedy movie that you would like to write?
Yeah, I honestly didn't. I'm not creative when it comes to something like that. Maybe, some of the things that I say and do, like at work or something. I don't know. That seems to make people laugh, but I have nothing, honestly. I've tried for 2 days to figure it out and can't,
You have writer's block.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, so I've always said that if I was going to write a comedy movie, it would have to be, let's say this guy has to move away. So, and I haven't really thought about where it might take place. Maybe in a bigger city. He's got to move to a smaller city, so he's got to move across the United States. So he gets a phone call about this job interview, and they're like, oh, we need you here at this certain time for your job interview. So at this point in time, he realizes that he can't fly out because it's bad weather. And he's like, oh man, I need to get there. So he decides that he wants to drive out there. Well, as he's trying to drive out there, everything is going wrong on the trip there. His car breaks down. He gets picked up by weird people on the side of the road. So it's just one bad thing after another. And then in the end, when he gets there, his clothes are completely trashed. He shows up. He's just covered in soot and everything else. And in the end, he doesn't get the job. And for me personally, I would like to have Will Ferrell as the lead actor in this movie. I think that it would be awesome. And if I had to think of an actress that would be in this one, Cameron Diaz would be the female that I would have to throw in this one. So, Joanne, I love your movie idea. So tell me, what do you think of my movie idea?
I like it. I like it. It reminds me of Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, another one of my favorite movies. I just thinking about that with John Candy and Steve Martin.
Yeah.
It'd be similar to that. A road trip movie is always a lot of fun. And I like the part that he gets all the way out there and he doesn't get the job. So then that's good for the sequel. What happens? He's stuck in a city and he has no job. So I love it. I'm a big fan of Cameron Diaz too. And I think that she's hilarious in many regards. I like Ben Stiller too. I like that. I forgot about Ben. They always make a good partnership. That was a great movie series. Or it wasn't a series, but What About Mary? That's a funny one.
Yeah, and I do believe that they also did a Heartbreak Kid. The Heartbreak Kid was an absolute amazing movie too.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Did you remember watching that one?
I don't think I saw that one. I didn't see that one. I'll have to put that on my list.
That's definitely a 2C movie. That is probably one of his best films he's done. Ben Stiller just absolutely amazing in that one. If you haven't, it's basically he ends up getting married to Cameron Diaz in the movie without even really knowing her. And the like everything goes wrong. It's just a complete the whole movie is just hilarious. And Tam, yes, that is the correct answer. Ben Stiller's dad was also in this movie, which I believe is Jerry Stiller, if I do remember right. I think that's his movie. Yes, he was also in this one. Somebody else liked the Heartbreak Kid too, so Amy said that she also liked it also. So Dragon Viper, hopping to you on this one first. If there was an actor and an actress that you could meet, do you have a top three, or maybe just one that you would like to meet? Go ahead and tell me your top three.
I actually have a top three. First one would be Jack Nicholson. Second one would be Bruce Willis. And out of all the array of actors, another one would be Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler, got it. Oh, yes, that's awesome. Got to meet a little bit of Adam Sandler going. How about actresses?
Actresses, another array of them. Julia Roberts is one. Jennifer Aniston, and Liv Tyler. She was in some movies, so I'd like to meet her too. So,
all right, Joanne, how about you?
So yeah, that's a tough one. Top three. It reminded me of when you were talking about Adam Sandler. I like Drew Barrymore. I think that she seems like a very down to earth, a great person. And I actually went to a movie premiere once, and I met Tom Cruise was there. It's for Rock of Ages. The movie wasn't great, but the premiere and the party were fabulous. Russell Brand was there, so I have gotten to meet a couple actors and actresses. Let's see, actor wise. Tom Cruise I used to idolize Tom Cruise when I was younger. Now I'm not such a big fan. As I matured and I realized he hasn't. he's kind of knocked down on my list. So I like Robert Downey Jr. I'm going to go back to that. I really would have liked to have met Chadwick Boseman. I was a big fan of his. He's not an actor, but David Letterman. I'd really like to meet David Letterman and really get a crack at him. As far as actresses, like I said, I like Demi Moore. I like Sandra Bullock, Drew Barrymore. They're probably my top three.
So Amy says that Will Smith would be one, and then that girl from King of Queens was the answer on that. And she's talking about Leah Remini.
Yeah, she's a good
Leah Remini, and then also Kevin James. That would be another one too. And then Tim Fielder says Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, which he says is his former crush, and then Jack Black.
So can I just interject here? Now we know why Tim wanted to be on my movie. I said I was bringing Sandra Bullock in. That's the real.
Oh, there it is. There it is right there. It's the Sandra Bullock effect. And it's interesting too. This is the first time that I've heard the Jack Black name dropped. And any of the movie nights we've done, nobody's even talked about Jack Black one time, which is kind of interesting because Jack Black's a funny guy. So, Joanne, do you like Jack Black?
I love Jack Black. I think he is a riot. I like him as a person. Well, as much as I know of him. Obviously, we don't know them intimately or personally, but I like Goosebumps. I think he was hilarious in that. A lot of good things Jack Black has done. School of Rock, he's a funny guy.
School of Rock was probably my favorite one that Jack Black did. And Goosebumps, yes. The first time I saw the previews for it, I'm like, I'm a little hesitant. Do I really want to see it? Do I really want to see it? And I'm like, okay. I finally broke down. I'm like, all right, I'll watch it. I watched it, and I was actually surprised of how good it actually was. It actually shocked me of how good it was. Dragon Viper, what do you think of Jack Black?
I like Jack Black. I agree. My favorite movie from him was School of Rock. He's pretty funny, so yeah, I like him.
Have you ever watched The Holiday?
No.
That one had Jack Black in it.
I like that one too. What's the other one where he did with Gwyneth Paltrow and she was
Shallow Hell.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yes.
I like him in that too.
I love that one.
Yep.
Shallow Hal Once a Gal. That's Shallow Hal, amazing movie. Jack Black is an amazing actor. We actually have a comment that says Jack Black is boring. So I don't. To each their own, I guess. To each their own. So when it comes to the actors and actresses that I would like to meet, I've always said, well, my number one favorite actor, I've come out and said continuously, I love Daniel Stern. He's my favorite actor. He's right there. I have to come out and meet Daniel Stern. Number two would be Adam Sandler. Just so funny. I love pretty much every single one of his movies he's done. I loved anywhere from Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore. There were so many times where I could come out and watch those movies just repeatedly over and over and over and over and over again. Probably know almost every line from all those movies. And then three, Ben Stiller. As you can see, I kind of follow a pattern here. I'm more of a comedic guy myself. I do like horror movies. I've said that before, but I really love the comedies. I don't know, just something about the comedies. I'd like to have a good laugh, especially after a hard, long day at work. You got to come home, enjoy a nice laugh. And that's just the great way to do it. And then on the actress side, Cameron Diaz, I think that she would be a complete down-to-earth person. I really want to see if she's as funny in real life as she is in the movies. It really makes me wonder that. Sally Fields is another one that I would like to meet. I loved her work in Mrs. Doubtfire. Absolutely fantastic. I loved it. And then number three, this one was hard because there's just so many actresses out there that I would absolutely love to meet. But if I had to throw it out there, it came down either between Jennifer Aniston and Julia Roberts. Just those two. I'm like, which one? Kind of had to do a coin flip on this one, and I chose to go with Jennifer Aniston. Her work is amazing. Absolutely loved it. I don't know. Julia Roberts was great. I loved her in Runaway Bride. And I'm sure we've all seen the Runaway Bride. That was actually one of my dad's favorite actresses too. So I watched a lot of her movies from pretty much the time I was born till now. He used to watch so many of her movies. But Dragon Viper, I'm going to go back to you for a second. Is there anybody else you want to add in here that you think would just be down to earth, absolutely chill, that you would love to meet?
I'd like to meet Vince Vaughn. I'd like to meet him. I guess for the female side, probably Angelina Jolie. I'd like to meet her. And there's Clint Eastwood. I'd like to meet him. There's a whole list. I could go on and on and on about, who I'd like to meet, but I'm not going to, luckily. But no, that's pretty much all I'm going to list, of who I'd like to meet. There's several, but there's that. So.
All right. So, Joanne, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw this out there. I kind of want to throw a little bit of a curveball at you. Since you
right.
talked about all these actors and actresses that you really liked, is there any of them that you're like, man, I just think they're too over the top, and I really don't like to watch any of their movies?
There are two, but as you're talking old school, I forgot two people I'd really like to meet.
Okay.
I want to throw Betty White in there. Love to meet
Oh.
Betty White.
Yes.
And I'd also like to meet Dick Van Dyke. Those are two that I really resonate with them. And I think if you guys saw Marvel, I think that reminded me of I forgot the name of it. What is it? Wanda and Vision. So when they went back to all those old sitcoms, it made me think of them. So one person, and now I'll go into the bad news. I'm not a big fan of Russell Crowe. Don't care for him at all. And in the female side, I'm going to go with Renee Zellweger. I'm not fans of either of them. I don't know why, for various reasons, but I've never liked either one.
All right, so we have a comment that I'm saying that Julia Roberts was actually really good in Erin Brockovich.
True.
Which, who was her co-star in that one? Was that his name was what was his name? His name's right there on the tip of my tongue, and I can't.
I can see him, but I can't think of it either.
I can't think of what the. Is it Something Hill? Something Hill. I thought it was Something Hill, but it's like right there. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I can picture him. He's not a tall guy. He's kind of shorter. What's his name? No. Yeah. I can't even think about it. Yeah, I can't. I was trying to get the answer for you, but and Tim Fielder. No, the answer's not Tim Fielder. Okay, that is definitely not the answer. I'm sorry.
Tim's building his resume. He's trying to interject with all the movies he's been in because he knows he's going to be a big star soon.
He's trying, and he heard Sandra Bullock, so now he wants to jump into the Sandra Bullock scene and be like, "Yes, Sandra Bullock. I got to get in Joanne's movie because of Sandra Bullock."
I thought he liked the theme, but it has nothing to do with me. So he's gonna have to audition a couple times, or he's out. He's out now. I said he's in, but he's gonna have to work for it now.
Well, Tim Fielder, you just blew it there, my man. So, Dragon Viper, how about you? Is there anybody that you can't stand their movies?
Oh man, there's two right off the top of my head: Will Ferrell and Owen Wilson. Cannot stand those two.
Will Ferrell.
Yes, Will Ferrell. He drives me nuts. He irritates me. I don't like him. And Owen Wilson, same thing. I just cannot stand him.
He's so funny though.
It's an annoying funny. In my opinion, it's annoying. Yeah, I cannot stand him.
There's not really any of them out there that I don't like. I just enjoy movies in general. So hold on. So Tim Fielder's saying just wait, and I think he's talking to you, Joanne. He's saying just wait. He's gonna audition for it.
Perfect.
And Tim Fielder's saying, and we can't stand you, Dragon Viper. So there you go. So you got thrown out there.
Come on.
And then just kidding. So in general, I like pretty much all actors, actresses. I don't have what you would call a least favorite, really, when you come to think of it. But the other thing that I did want to say on this, and Dragon Viper, I wanted to surprise you because this is one of your favorite things that we always do on almost all of our shows. And I hope Joanne is actually up for the challenge.
Oh boy.
And so, Dragon Viper, you probably know where I'm going with this one. Do you know where I'm going with this one? And yes, we do this on almost all of our shows. This is the first time we ever would have done this on movie night. And that's right. We call this movie trivia. Are you up for the challenge?
I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. I thought it was. Yeah, I thought you were going to throw out karaoke, so I'm a little relieved. So
I am too.
Nope. On almost all of our shows, we do some type of trivia. We haven't done trivia yet on movie night, so we definitely have to try trivia on movie night and see how it goes. All right, so who would like to go first?
Let her go first.
All right.
All right. Joanne, this is for you. So your question is, in The Matrix, have you seen The Matrix, number 1?
No. I have seen bits and pieces of The Matrix. I've not seen the entire. I'm a Keanu Reeves fan, but I might have seen it. I can't even remember, but I'll give it a shot.
All right. In The Matrix, does Neo take the blue pill or the red pill?
I'm going to say blue.
No, the correct answer is actually the red pill. That's okay. So that's probably one of the things that you have not seen that. So you're like, oh, I've never seen that. Have you seen any of them at all?
No.
Or maybe just
Matrix?
bits and pieces? No.
So
all right.
That sounded good for me. You got those, Dragon Viper. You might as well take the points.
Dragon Viper, this one's for you. For what movie did Tom Hanks score his first Academy Award nomination?
I'm just gonna say what first popped in my head. Sleepless in Seattle.
No, that is not the correct answer. Joanne,
No.
would you like to take a shot?
How about Castaway?
No. So the correct answer to this, and I've seen this movie multiple times. I love it, but it was actually Big.
Really? I
Really?
love Big. I love
Big.
that movie. I didn't
I was
know.
also thinking Forrest Gump. So
Yeah, but I think he did Big before Forrest Gump.
He
if I
did.
do,
He
I
did.
do remember. So, yeah, so Big was actually a great movie. And Joanne, it's kind of
It
funny
was.
because you said that was one of the movies you were thinking about saying.
It was, but I didn't think that's not usually Oscar-worthy material, that type of comedy. So I'm surprised it was even nominated. He was even nominated for that.
yeah, I didn't think it was.
Tim Feeler thought it was Philadelphia.
I almost said that too. That was going to be my second choice, but I didn't think that was the first one.
All right, so Joanne, this question comes to you. What was the first feature-length animated movie ever released?
I'm going to say Snow White.
You're correct. Good job. She got it right. Wow.
All right, I'm on the board. Gentlemen.
Was that just the first thing that came to your mind, or did you actually have a sneaky hunch that was the correct answer?
I had a pretty good inkling that was the answer. I thought it was either that. I knew it was either that, Dumbo, or Bambi. I knew it was in the top 3 there.
Now, what'd you actually think of the actual full-length film instead of the animated one?
I liked it. I'm a Disney fan, and I thought it was interesting. It's hard to go against Disney. So, I mean, it's easy to go against Disney in many ways, but it's also hard to go against them. So I'm going to say I liked it. I'll give it a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. How about you, Dragon Viper? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I have. I thought it was pretty good. So,
all right. So this question comes to you, Dragon Viper. And what flavor of Pop-Tarts does Buddy the Elf use in his spaghetti in the movie Elf? And by the look on Joanne's face, I think she probably knows this answer. I saw the little bit of head nod going. I'm like, yep, I think she's got this one. So, Dragon Viper, if you don't get this one, I think she's got it.
what flavor of Pop-Tart?
What flavor of Pop-Tart?
Candy cane?
No, that is not correct. So, Joanne, you have the shot.
I don't know if I know it, but I was just smiling because I love that movie. I'm going to go with strawberry.
No, that is not the correct answer. The correct answer is actually chocolate.
No.
Yeah, no. That actually sounds disgusting, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that whole part when he makes the spaghetti and then takes the Pop-Tarts, throws it on top, the syrup. I'm watching, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, that's just a sugar rush just waiting to happen. Right? Oh my gosh, that hurts the gut even thinking about it. All right, so are you a horror movie buff at all, Joanne?
I wouldn't say. I would say no. I don't like horror movies, but if they're old school, I might be able to. I did watch the whole, Halloween series. I used to watch them when I was younger, but I haven't seen any of the new ones. I might be able to answer a question, but I wouldn't say I'm a buff.
All right. Well, this is a horror movie question, so I figured that's why I threw that out there. Just to ask you, what shocking Wes Craven horror movie carried the marketing tagline "To avoid fainting, keep repeating. It's only a movie"?
I'm going to say Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, that is not correct.
Was that a Wes Craven movie? I think it was, wasn't it?
Wes Craven, yes, that was. I don't think Dragon Viper knows.
No, I couldn't even come up with a guess.
Well, the correct answer is actually the last house on the left.
Oh.
Yeah, I never heard of that one. So I was out of the running before we even started.
Right. All right. So Dragon Viper, this one comes to you. What American writer-director starred in several iconic European-produced spaghetti westerns?
Spaghetti westerns? The heck is a spaghetti western? Oh man, it would help if I knew what that was. Owen Wilson. I don't know.
No, that is not the correct answer. Joanne, how about you?
I'll just take a guess. Clint Eastwood. I'm not sure.
And that actually is the correct answer.
All right, see?
See, you're on the board again. Spaghetti Western. That really makes me curious. What exactly could spaghetti Western mean?
I don't know.
So, Dragon Viper, you have no idea. Joanne, do you have any idea what spaghetti Western might entail?
I don't. I mean, I want to say something that's could be considered stereotypical, unless it's in a Western produced in Italy. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, that's something that's curious. I'm not really sure what a spaghetti Western on that one is. I've never heard of that. But Clint Eastwood, I was actually surprised, Dragon Viper, that you actually did not guess Clint Eastwood.
Well, the whole spaghetti Western thing, it kind of threw me off. So, I mean, if it was an actual Western, I would have guessed it. But, that threw me off.
So we actually have a comment, and you'll never guess who it's from. It's from Tim Fielder that says his guess would be that cowboy whips made of noodles. That's where he gets his spaghetti Western. Spaghetti Western.
Wow, Tim.
That's awesome. Okay, spaghetti whips made of noodles. I like that. All right. Whose question was this? Oh yeah, I believe it was Joanne, because Dragon Viper got the first one last time. So this one comes to Joanne. So the head of what kind of animal is front and center in a famous scene from The Godfather?
A horse.
A horse. That is correct. So 3. Dragon Viper, there's so many times you've come on and talked about trivia, and you said you want to come on these shows and dominate in trivia, and you're losing another one.
Oh, we're not getting into the other one.
He's just trying to be nice because I'm a newbie. So thank you. Thanks for letting me win, Dragon.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Right.
You're a true gentleman, unlike Tim Fielder. Thank you.
I like that. All right. Dragon Viper, this one's for you. For what movie did Steven Spielberg win his first Oscar for Best Director?
E.T.
No.
Really? Oh.
Joanne, you have a shot.
That would have been my guess too. Let me think for a second. Steven Spielberg. Yeah, I can't even think of a Steven Spielberg movie, and I'm a big fan. I'm lost on that. I don't know.
Once you hear the movie, you're going to be like, that makes perfect sense. Because once I saw the answer, I'm like, that makes sense now. So Tim actually thinks it's Encounter of the Third Kind, but that is not the correct answer. The correct answer is actually Schindler's List.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I said once you hear it, you're going to be like, now that makes perfect sense why it's Schindler. Yeah, and you don't – that's not one movie that really pops into your head immediately once you hear it. But once you see the answer, yeah, because Schindler's List is an all-time classic. A great movie.
Yeah.
If you've never
amazing.
seen Schindler's List, you need to really go back and watch Schindler's List.
It's amazing.
Absolutely. I'm surprised he wasn't nominated before then, though. It seems like I forget when that came out, but it doesn't seem like that's too far in our distant past. I would have thought that he would have been. I'm surprised he wasn't nominated for E.T. But I
believe that was 1992, if I remember right. Yeah, I believe it was like Best Picture, and I believe that was 1992, if I remember correctly. But I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that year. But I was pretty sure it was 1992. All right, so this question is for Joanne, and if you like comedies, this is one too that you might like. What Hollywood movie star plays himself in Zombieland?
I'm going to take a guess. I didn't see that. Is it Brad Pitt?
No, it's not Brad Pitt. So you've never actually seen Zombieland, huh?
I haven't seen that one. You gotta remember, I'm the mom of 3 sons. For about 10 years of my life, I was watching Toy Story 1, 2, 3. Everything that dominated me was animated. So I'm just getting back into the adult movies.
You know what? And there's nothing wrong with that because I have kids myself and I've watched Toy Story, Monsters, Inc., all these movies too. I've seen them all and they're great movies. They really are great movies. But even though my kids are like, because my kids are 10 and so they see all these newer movies that are out now and they go, oh, these movies are awesome. I'm like, yeah, but let me show you back then the movies that we got to see, movies like Toy Story and things. I love those. Those were absolutely amazing. And I was actually glad they came out with Disney Plus because then you can actually go back and show your kids what the movies were like back then. Absolutely, truly amazing Disney movies.
Agreed.
So do your kids watch the old classics from Disney?
Well, depends on what you mean by classic. I don't know if Toy Story, I guess, is a classic now. But for me, the classics are, Beauty and the Beast, Snow White, Cinderella. Those things are really predate me because I really have grown up watching them with them. The Cars movies, and DreamWorks is great too. The big fans of How to Train Your Dragon, that series, Kung Fu Panda. I mean, they're just for traditions here. I don't think that they're all great of the same quality, but yeah, we watched all those series because my son literally, we would go to the movies opening day for the last 20 years of any animated feature that's come out. So maybe not 20 years. I don't want to say that. The last 10 years. So we love all those. So when you said Owen Wilson, I got to go with Cars. That's a big fan favorite in this house.
Cars, absolutely. Dragon Viper, you kind of look disgusted with the.
No, I was trying to remember what who the actor was on Zombieland, and I think I know who it was.
Okay, who was it?
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray is the correct answer. Bill Murray actually plays himself in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I figured you'd get that. Bill Murray was spectacular in that movie. Bill Murray's another one that when you mention him, I'm like, yeah, he'd be another one that I would absolutely love to meet. There was so many movies out there that were so good at Bill Murray's. It's just crazy. The guy's a legend. I mean, to me, the dude's just an absolute legend.
Bill Murray
But-
actually is in my favorite movie. I forgot about one of my favorite movies of all time. What About Bob? That's one of my favorites. Love that movie with Bill Murray. And I like Richard Dreyfuss too, actually. That's another one. Oh, Steve Carell. I love Steve Carell too. So there's so many.
See, all these names are starting to come out now. It's awesome. I love it. All right, so we have time for a few more questions here, and then we will call it a show. So whose turn is it? I believe it's
Mine.
Dragon Viper. So you're finally on the board. You got one right. She's Joanne's beating you 3-1 here. So let's see if you can get another point here and try and close that gap a little bit more. What is the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time?
Oh wow. R-rated movie. Is that PG-13 or R? Wow, that's a
Hey, that's a tough one.
tough one. It's a shot in the dark, but I'm gonna just say American Pie.
No.
It's shot in the dark.
That's a tough one. It's hard to. I mean, is it prorated based, or is it just dollars and cents based on the time period? I'm gonna go with Deadpool.
No, so the correct answer was actually Joker. That actually surprised me when I read that. I knew that Joker was huge, but I didn't think it was one of the highest highest grossing ones. I honestly had no idea about that one.
Me neither.
That one really shocked me when I read that one. So Joanne, this one comes to you. What animated classic was the first film of the late 20th century Disney Renaissance?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Toy Story.
No, that is not correct. You got this, Dragon Viper. You got this.
I think so. Shot in the dark. Hunchback of Notre Dame.
No, that is not the correct answer. The correct answer is actually The Little Mermaid.
I should have known that one. True.
Wow.
Yeah, I figured that you would have got that one. So as soon as I said that, I was like, oh, I think Joanne's going to get this one. And then once I saw the answer, I'm like, oh, yeah, The Little Mermaid. Absolutely.
I have sons, so we're really driven towards the. But you're right. I have my nieces, and that predates my sons. When did that come out? What year? Was it
The
right?
Little Mermaid? That's a good question. Because it says late 20th century.
Yeah, so the late would have been the late 90s, right?
Yeah. So late 90s.
Yeah. So my niece was around that age. So she was born in 94. So you're right. It must have been a few years after that, 96, 97.
All right. Let's see. See here. Let's see some good ones here. Okay. Have you ever seen the movie Titanic? This is for Joanne.
I have.
All right. Who played the unsinkable Molly Brown in Titanic?
Kathy Bates.
Correct. You got it. Look at you. So Titanic, was that a movie that you really, really enjoyed watching?
I did. I think the hype around it, I like because of course I don't like it, of course, but I like it's a historical event. I do like Leonardo DiCaprio. I liked Kate Winslet. I actually am a fan of Kathy Bates, and I enjoyed it. I don't think the acting was as good as it's always been given credit for, and I believe the story was certainly skewed, but I did enjoy watching it. And my niece was a big fan at that time, and we probably watched it 100 times, literally 100 times. So I enjoyed it.
I think the only bad part about the movie that I thought was it was just such a long movie. I mean, it was like a 3-hour movie. It was so long. it. I think. I mean, I understand it would have been hard to cut it down, but still, the whole 3-hour thing. And it's kind of interesting how when they came up and they talked about when Titanic was in the movie theaters, even though everybody knew that the ship was going to sink, they still had people in the theater cheering for the Titanic not to sink. and I'm like, that's crazy. And you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
That's funny.
So Dragon Viper, what did you think of Titanic?
I liked it. I actually went to the theaters to watch it. But yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, yeah, the story may have been skewed a little bit, but I like the action in it, and yeah, it was good in my opinion.
All right, so if Joanne gets this next question right, then she will be the movie trivia champion for the day. She's up 4-1 right now. But the thing is, for Dragon Viper, you get to start out on this one. In the action thriller Speed, why is Annie driver's license suspended?
I hadn't watched that movie. I don't know. DUI.
That is not correct. Joanne.
I think she had too many parking tickets.
No, she was speeding. She was speeding.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That movie too.
Never watched that movie.
That was a great movie. A great movie. I tried to watch a second one. I couldn't quite do it. The second one just was definitely not as good as the first one. And typically they usually aren't when you think about it. When you think about a lot of them, you're like, yeah, the second ones are usually not as good, because they even had a Grease 2, and Grease 2 wasn't as good as the first one either. When they did the remake of Footloose, that wasn't as good either. I didn't like the remake of Footloose. Or they had the second Dirty Dancing one, Havana Nights or something like that. That wasn't even that good either. All right, so Joanne, if you get this one, you win it. Who wrote the screenplay for Rocky?
Sylvester Stallone.
You got it. There you go. So Joanne is our movie trivia champion. Congrats to Joanne.
Thank you. I was nervous. I didn't think I was going to pull it off, but I actually knew a few things. So great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for making the questions easy for me and falling on the sword for me, Dragon Viper. You made me feel very welcome.
Yeah, no problem.
It made up for Tim Fiedler. I'll say that.
All right. Well, with that, we're actually out of time for another episode of Movie Night. But before we hop off here, Dragon Viper, any final thoughts or remaining things you want to say? I'll give you about 30 to 45 seconds of anything you want to say.
Well, just want to say, thank you for everybody for watching. Thank you, Joanne, for joining us. It was a good show, and we'll be doing this again next Saturday. So,
all right. Joanne, our special guest tonight. Any thoughts that you need to say? Any remaining thoughts?
I just want to thank you guys for inviting me in the last minute. I didn't know if I was sweating bullets. I didn't think I wasn't sure if I could handle a live show, but I really enjoyed it. I love the commentary. I love the group, and you guys were very warm and welcoming, easygoing, nice, easy to talk to, and I love the topic. I didn't know if I knew enough about movies to join the discussion, but you made it easy for me. So thanks very much.
Yeah, you did it. You got it. And hopefully all of our viewers out there on Coast to Coast Network will be able to see you do some more live videos. So hopefully you'll be bringing your podcast onto here and doing some live shows for all of our viewers. And maybe, every once in a while hopping on a little bit of movie night and talking some movies with us.
I'd love to. I'm in it now. I'm going to start catching up on the movies tomorrow. I'm going to be buckled down in the recliner and with the remote. So good advice.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you, Joanne, for coming on. Thank you again, Dragon Viper. It was a pleasure again to do another movie night show for you here on Saturday night. Now, don't forget tomorrow. What do we have tomorrow? That's right. We have You Think You Know. It's our trivia show that we do on Sundays, and we have 3 welcoming participants tomorrow. As you know, J-Mac is coming in to defend his crown against two newly people that's actually coming from the MI6 network that's going to come on tomorrow and try and take down J-Mac and try and get his crown. And so, Joanne, our trivia show that we do is all types of trivia. It's not just sports trivia. It's all over the board. So you can actually catch that tomorrow, as it is great. You have somebody trying to keep their crown. All right. So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you tomorrow when you watch You Think You Know. Have a good night.